Here we go. It's the grand finals of SCS 194. First off, for the fancy cloud dancers, we have the friend fish. This is a blast from the past. Heavy carronade goldfish with banshee and light carronades on the sides. Their ally is the Ron Tonkin, a stormbreaker. Here's a blast from very recently. Gatling Quacha Banshee with second Banshee. Their opponents, Legio Lepidoptera Leviathan. We have the Bamboozle Moth, Lumberjack Quacha Judgment paired with the Gatling and Mortar. And their ally, the GFA Dositicus, Gatling Quacha, Gatling, Light Flak. Interesting, double Gatling. We don't see a whole lot on Stormbreakers. But one of the nice things that I point out every once in a while is that this left side gun here, you can, because the guns are positioned so closely together, it's very easy to have a crew setup that allows the crew to hop between guns very quickly. So you can have two people on the Gatling to get a fast armor break, and then immediately drop down to the Quacha for the follow-up kill. And we see that usually hopping between like a Quacha and a Light Flak, or a Quacha and a Banshee, because you can reach the upper gun from the heavy weapon slot. Heavy carronade, the heavy carronade on the friend fish also going to be very effective here because the judgment is has a very large balloon, and also the smaller fast ships like the Stormbreaker, once the balloon goes down, they're pretty much dead in the air. Nope, there goes Ron Tonkin. What's up? Moonshine. Hey guys, how's this spawn? I like it. I think we're gonna make it ours. Now, Friendfish moving forward. No heavy carronade shots just yet. Dual focus. 3 Gatlings onto the Friendfish. Armor is down. Watch is coming out. 30%, 40%, 50% damage. And they rebuild the whole armor just in time. But I think the heavy carronade is currently still up. And there it goes. First shot. Are we going to get... Yes, balloon disable onto Dositicus. And I wonder if Friendfish is going to stay with her ally, or they're going to go help the Ron Tonkin. Looks like they're going to go for the Bamboozle Moth, as Ron Tonkin getting the bad end of this fight to the Gatling Mortar, Quacha, close range of the Blue Judgment. Usually don't see this much close range firepower in a Judgment. They're usually kitted out as a more long range ship, with like heavy flaks, Minotaurs, that sort of thing. So this will be a little more dangerous for even a Stormbreaker if they're in the business end of the Bamboozle Moth for more than a few seconds. They will die extremely quickly. However, the Friendfish did get some heavy carronade shots into the Blue Judgment, so balloon is down. Armor looks like going to go down to the Gatling of the Ron Tonkin. No explosive damage follow-up from the Red Stormbreaker. A little, oh well, slow armor rebuild in the Bamboozle Moth, so FCG is able to pick up their first kill. I definitely think that could have been avoided with a little bit more tanking from Legio Lepidoptera's side. Is Dositicus. Now, Dositicus has gotten the good end of the Friendfish as well. There's a possibility they can get a kill, but armor is still up on the Friendfish. They have to force the Quacha early because the Ron Tonkin's coming up behind them, and I think that's probably going to be it for Dositicus as well. 2 points on the board. Red team currently camped out in blue spawn. We'll see. Does Legio Lepidoptera Leviathan, do they take close spawn, or do they take far spawn? Let's take some bets out there. I've got an over-under pool going on close spawn. Well, no, well. Opposite side of the map, Bamboozle Moth is, as well as the Dositicus. Let's see if we get some Lumberjack shots. Well. Huh. Okay. Friendfish flies into the terrain just at the wrong... Not Friendfish, the other ship flies into the terrain just as their armor goes down. Poor timing there. From the Red Stormbreaker. Now, is Friendfish going to be able to escape? Looks like, oh, Friendfish might be trying to kill themselves. I'm not... There are a lot of aspects to the flying from Fancy Cloud Dancers here that are maybe baffling me. But yeah, it looks like Friendfish does want to... They're suiciding their ship so that they can start the next fight with a full health goldfish. Low health goldfish, because any ship that has a low armor like the goldfish, Shrike, Stormbreaker, these types of squishier ships, once you get the health low, they're really not that valuable in fights. Because if you go into a fight with a damaged ship and the enemy team knows it's damaged, they're gonna focus it. It dies. Suddenly you're in a 2v1. So often it's better to give up the one ship early on before the fight even starts, rather than give up two later. Especially considering that, you know, I'm not 100% certain. I think, yeah, Red Team does also have the kill advantage, so they will win in the event of a tie, which can let them be a little more liberal with those types of plays where they can give away a point to maintain their engagement in an actual, like, even fight. Now, Rontonkin moving in, Gatling engaging on Dicidicus, Banshee going for the Bamboozle Moth. Friendfish is doing nothing here. They're stuck in a repair cycle, lost their balloon to the Lumberjack. The Rontonkin is in a straight 2v1 here. Bamboozle Moth, rather than turning around, he's going to be backing up to try to get the Rontonkin and Arcs. And there's a big Watcha connection onto the red Stormbreaker. Engine down, all the guns are down, they're moonshining, trying to get away, rebuilding the armor. Where is Friendfish? Rontonkin here, are we going to get some mortar connections? No, the Dicidicus able to follow up with Watcha. And now, Lepidoptera Leviathan with an advantage here, just as the Friendfish comes in and gets a heavy carrying shot off, but not enough to take out the Bamboozle Moth's balloon. They might be able to get it here, but they're not going to survive this 1v2. No way. Double Gatling, finishing them off. And now a very strong lead from Blue Team. Just one bungled engagement here turns the tide of the game. And also important to note, neither of the blue ships took any damage. Like it was basically the whole fight was a 1v2. Friendfish lost their balloon almost immediately, had to drop out of the fight. Rontonkin was not able to sustain by themselves, and it's like a meat grinder, I would call that. A meat grinder between ships that have already spawned in, where one comes in after another and they just get gunned down. So if Red Team wants to win this, keep in mind, Grand Finals in SCS is played as a best-of-3 set where the team coming from winner's bracket already has an advantage. So, because Fancy Clown Dancers came from the winner's bracket, they already have one game on the board. They can lose this if they lose. Let me collect my thoughts. If FCD loses this game, there's going to be a second game to decide the tournament. If Lepidoptera loses this game, then the tournament is over. So they can give up one and still win SCS. And now Friendfish coming in. Looks like they're trying to get a dual focus on the Bamboozle Moth, but taking a lot of damage in the process. Looks like both the Heavy Carronade and the Watcha for Red Team have gone down, so most of their firepower is negated for a couple more seconds as those get rebuilt. Bamboozle Moth's going to be turning very slowly, deciding who they want to engage their fire on. We're seeing dual Gatling focus onto the Rontonkin. Friendfish knocks out the Dicidicus's balloon. They're going to be taken out of the fight. Manages to squeak out a Watcha in the meantime. Rontonkin's Watcha is down. Friendfish going for a ram on the Bamboozle Moth. Armor probably going to be going down here shortly. 9 stacks of fire. Balloon is still up. They're above terrain here, so Heavy Carronade, if they can get a balloon pop, which they're unable to do, they can potentially get a fast kill on the Judgment, grinding them into the terrain, but that does not happen. Instead, Rontonkin moves in to assist with Watcha. Bamboozle Moth, 20% perma-hull, 2 engines down. Looks like the Gatling down as well. Banshees coming up, taking them out. They're a little high for the Watcha, but the Banshees were able to pick up the kill. And now Dicidicus which has been out of the fight as well. That's one of the things that makes those balloon-popping weapons like the Lumberjack and the Heavy Carronade so strong, is you don't necessarily need to kill a ship to take it out of the fight. If you knock down their balloon, they sink to the bottom of the map. It takes them, 10 seconds to get back up to height ceiling to support their ally. 10 seconds is a really long time in Guns of Icarus. And you saw that there, similar to how the French fish was negated in the previous fight. In this fight, Dosidicus was felled by the Heavy Carronade, and then Red Team just got to gang up on the Blue Judgment and take the fight very easily. And Bamboozlemoth has already spawned back in. We might not even be seeing another game here. It's certainly possible, but both teams are on match point. It could definitely go either way. A lot of it is going to come down to those early balloon disables. Which team and if either team gets them. Spot down the friend fish. There's an opportunity here for Bamboozlemoth to get some Lumberjack shots, but Friendfish is running behind terrain here, so long-range fire going to be zoned out pretty quickly. And here comes... I was going to say here comes Heavy Carronade, but here comes Gatling as well. Dosidicus loses their balloon. Friendfish being forced out by the double Gatling and Watch of Fire. FCD is playing this pretty conservatively. You saw that they just poked up, got a balloon pop, let them generate a little bit of altitude advantage, and then back off. And if they want to, they can continue playing it this way, because they have the Heavy Carronade. Lumberjack doesn't quite work as well as kind of a peek and poke weapon. Because it takes down the balloon a little bit more slowly than the Heavy Carronade does, requiring more sustained fire. So if Fancy Cloud Dancers want to, they could play this like this, like just poke out, knock out a balloon, back off, knock the Dosidicus and the Bamboozlemoth down a little bit, and when they have generated sufficient height advantage, pick a target and move in for a kill. And because this is 4-4, this is such a close game, I imagine both teams are going to be playing this fairly passively. Or not, passive is not the right word, but carefully. They're going to pick their moment to move in. They're going to put a lot of thought into it. As Gatling pushes the Friendfish back. Ooh, Lumberjack coming in. One hit on the Ron Tonkin, not too much damage. Look at the ammos here. Seems like we're getting a lot of charged ammunition on those Gatlings for the extra range. Friendfish is pushing forward. They get one shot into Dosidicus's balloon. Not the second, so no disable. Instead, Gatlings on the Friendfish, taking down the armor, trying to kerosene backwards. Watch it coming out, hitting the balloon, but it doesn't really matter because armor is already up. While the Bamboozlemoth in the background is still trying to keep the Ron Tonkin focused. And Red Team moves in. Friendfish taking a close position against the Dosidicus. Dosidicus is positioned that they could get a ram kill here, potentially. No, instead, Dosidicus charging forward, rising up above the Friendfish. That was a little bit scary. And now Friendfish is running. It seems like they might be going for a dual focus with Ron Tonkin. Ron Tonkin has not engaged yet, but they're in position behind the pillar that they can move out at a moment's notice. Friendfish getting only one Heavy Carronade shot into the Bamboozlemoth and then has to disengage. Now Ron Tonkin, watch it coming out as the Dosidicus it fully engages the Friendfish. Armor's low on the Friendfish. Big watch it connection from the Bamboozlemoth and the Dosidicus. 50% permahull. Armor still low. Guns disabled. This might be a kill here on the Friendfish. No! Ron Tonkin's moving in onto Dosidicus. Huge watch it connection. Bamboozlemoth was ignoring the Ron Tonkin. Let them get to their ally. And now we have two very heavily damaged ships between the Friendfish and the Dosidicus. Which one loses the armor first? I think it's going to be Friendfish and Legio, Lepidoptera, Leviathan able to take the match 5-4. That's about as close as it gets. So we will be moving into a second game here for SCS 194. Last game of the day between Legio, Lepidoptera, Leviathan, and the fancy cloud dancers. Uh-oh. There are too many spiders on screen. What is happening? Oh no. Stuff's happening. Rosy Maple Moth, armor's down, so is Great VGS. One of the blue spiders died first. I think Rosy Maple Moth is gonna go second. Oh god, they've lost their minds. They played too much competitive Guns of Icarus and has melted their brain. The amplifier tries to moonshine away. Well... So for red team, we have the Docidicus, which is a Gatling Hwacha Gatling Light Flak Stormbreaker. And we'll wait for their ally to respawn here. The Rosy Maple Moth. Mark II Heavy Flak Hades Dual Gatling. Heavy Piercing on red team's choice of Spire. Their opponent's FCD have brought 2 spires of their own. Hades Hwacha Light Carronade Flamethrower. And their ally, the Amplifier. Gatling, Minotaur, Light Flak, and Artemis. Already Great VGS and Docidicus are duking it out. I'm sure I've already forgotten all the guns that are on these ships, but that's okay. Rosy Maple Moth, because they do have that heavy flak, they're the only ship here who really has the potential to get instant kills. Like spires do die very quickly, but Rosy Maple Moth, let's see, they do have lock and charged for their heavy flak, and now Docidicus is moving in. One would also think that red team does have an advantage here because they have the only non-spire ship, so they're inherently favored to win the game. But blue team has been doing good damage here in the second fight, while red has not gotten any armor breaks. Look at this dual focus onto the Rosy Maple Moth. Oh, well, Docidicus is dead too. That's okay. Rosy Maple Moth, there's just gonna move in and die, it looks like. If they get fast armor break, there's possibility they could get heavy flak. No, the heavy flak's disabled. Well, there's the there goes that spire, and now we have a 2-1 lead for Triple L, trading to the FCD into a 3-2 lead for them. And I suspect we're going to see blue start to push into the red spawn. You know, I don't know, I can't quite put a finger on what it is, but I feel like the teams maybe hoping this one wraps up pretty quickly. I'm not sure what gives me that impression, but you just call it a hunch. Red team taking far spawns. And blue FCD deciding instead of charging into red side of the map, they're going to play us a little bit more cautiously. Which is... in a normal match where you bring a Spire, where this is not even remotely a normal match, you do want to play the Spire like this. You want to stick to terrain, you want to use cloud cover, because the Spire is the glass cannon of, or at least the original glass cannon. Stormbreaker's kind of the definitive glass cannon at this point, but the Spire is a ship you want to play around terrain, you want to play behind cloud cover, so that when you ambush an opponent, catch them off guard, you can kill them in one volley. Because your ship has low sustainability, you have to kill your targets fast. And now Great VGS is moving in. Amplifier using the Minotaur. Also, Minotaur not very good against the Spire, so it's a little interesting that Sputnik for the blue team decided to bring that. Now VGS has lost their armor. You can see those Minotaur shots hitting and not really doing anything. They're pushing them back, but they're not knocking out any of the gun arcs, which is the primary utility of the Minotaur. It's just not very good against the Spire, because you don't have a good point far from the center of mass to really turn it around. Amplifier, though, they are getting the better of this long-range duel still. Light Flak's coming in. Rosy Maple Moth down to 30% perma hull. Neither of the blue ships have really taken any damage. I need to continue zooming in so I can remember what guns these ships have. Amplifier with the Artemis is going to be able to win any sort of long-range engagement. Oh. Oh, Maple Moth is going to die in the next armor break. They have to be pretty careful. And now Great VGS is moving in. Light flak from the Dicidicus, not going to do anything when the armor is up. And Amplifier going for the Dicidicus. Great VGS going for a ram kill onto the Maple Moth. They're super low. They need to rebuild this armor before VGS is able to engage the Gatling gun. They do, but at the cost of their balloon. And I think VGS is probably still going to be able to pick up the kill. Maybe not in quite as dramatic fashion as they had hoped. No, Dicidicus is dead, by the way. Or maybe they will. Moving forward here. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, blue team, red team, whatever. Spires, who cares? Fancy Cloud Dancers are your SCS number 194 champions. Congratulations to them. But also, really strong performance from Legio, Lepidoptera, Leviathan in the previous game on Black Cliff. Just winning straight. They won a straight up normal match, in quotes. Spire Duel didn't quite go so as well for them, but you know, second place, not too bad.